Welcome to the first of tonight's zombie double bill, the rip-roaring horror farce Evil Dead 2, appropriately subtitled Dead by Dawn, which follows in the footsteps of one of the most notorious shockers of recent years. Back in the early 80s, Sam Raimi's seminal low-budget romp The Evil Dead got caught up in what became known as the Video Nasty Scare, a national witch hunt against horror tapes fueled by the tabloids and orchestrated by the Director of Public Prosecutions, who produced a list of around 60 video titles which the police were advised were impoundable. Now, despite significant court victories, which actually got it removed from that list, The Evil Dead was tainted with the stigma of obscenity and only resurfaced on video years later, minus a minute of cuts in addition to the 40 seconds already slashed out of it for its UK cinema release. According to Chief Censor James Furman, the problem with The Evil Dead was partly that the name of the game was excess and it was just too excessive, and partly that under the terms of the 1984 Video Recordings Act, the BBFC were now duty-bound to produce a version of The Evil Dead that was significantly different from the one which had gotten into trouble before the VRA was in place. In the meantime, Sam Raimi got on with creating his own significantly different version of The Evil Dead, namely Evil Dead 2, which is less a sequel than a remake, shot with more money, more jokes and more ambitiously entertaining special effects, but using essentially the same spam in a cabin scenario as before. When it came to classifying Evil Dead 2, the British censors were still a little bit twitchy, cutting a couple of seconds of head-kicking fun from the film and video versions, but generally treating the sequel with far more respect and indeed affection than its savagely dismembered predecessor. So sit back and enjoy the comic shocker Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn in nearly all its gory glory, and prepare to discover that there are few things funnier than being scared out of your skin.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark One.